Chain 1. For our 18 to our 19, each round crocheting 64 single crochets. Continue crocheting until round 20 is completed. Slip. Chain 1. Remove the marker. The decrease is still inserted at this position of the mark. Start the first decrease stitch. Working with a single strand. Here's how to execute the first decrease. Insert your hook into the first stitch. Continue into the second stitch, picking a single thread. Yarn over, pull through, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. This completes 1 decrease. Mark the first stitch. To reiterate, for the second decrease, insert your hook into the next 2 stitches. Following the same process. Completing another decrease. That's your second decrease. Then crochet 15 single crochets. After that, 4 decreases. This is the first deck. The second deck. The third deck. The fourth deck. One SC. For deck. Fifteen SC. For deck. One SC. Two deck. Slip, completing our 21. For round 22, chain 1. Start with a decrease at the stitch marker position. Mark the first stitch. Then proceed with 15 as C. To deck. 1 as C. To deck. One as C. To deck. Fifteen as C. To deck. One as C. One deck. Slip. Complete round 22. Round 23, chain 1. Then crochet 16 single crochets. Place a stitch marker on the first stitch. Ensure you crochet a total of 16 single crochets for this round. After completing the 16 single crochets, work a decrease stitch. Followed by one single crochet, another decrease, then 15 single crochets, and finally 2 decrease stitches. Slip, then pull the yarn tail. To match the length of the bottom opening before cutting it. Break the yarn. Now let's weave in the ends. Pick up a single strand when weaving in ends. It's always advisable to work with just one strand. Make a light knot and snip the yarn. Break the yarn. The main structure of the Panda tissue box cover is now complete. The opening at the bottom doesn't need to be so. Simply insert the tissues. They won't fall out from here. Next, take out the black yarn to crochet the panda's foot. Make a magic circle with 8 single crochets. Stretch this loop. Start with a chain stitch. Crochet the first single crochet stitch and place a stitch marker on it. Continue with 7 more single crochets. Totaling 8 single crochets. There are 2 strands here. Pull on the shorter strand to tighten the adjustable loop. Keep pulling on the active strand to tighten and elongate the shorter one. Reduce the loop's eyes, returning the hook to its original position. Slip at the marker location. R2, chain 1. Crochet an increased stitch, which is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And mark the first SC stitch. An increase is done by crocheting 2 stitches in the same stitch. Wove made 1 single crochet already. Add another in the same stitch for the increase. Repeat for a total of 8 increases. Slip stitch at the marker. Stretch the loop to the length of a crochet hook. Then cut the yarn. Hot glue can be used as an alternative. Keep the long strand for sewing later. And cut the shorter one. Only 1 strand is needed for sewing. You'll need to crochet another as pandas have 2 feet. Thread the yarn. Begin sewing the panda's toe. Leave a longer tail at the back. Pass the thread twice through the toe area for reinforcement. Shaping it slightly if necessary. Tie a knot with the short yarn tail you left earlier to secure the toe. The panda's toe is now sewn. Attach it to the main body of the panda, either by sewing or using hot glue. Start sewing along the edge of the circular opening. Concealing the thread as you go. Again, choose a single strand for weaving in, and pick any spot to tie a knot. It can be arbitrary, as long as it holds the thread securely in place. Use the same method to attach the rest of the paw. Next, we'll crochet the claws. Start by tying a slip knot with the black yarn. Chain 4. Completing the chains. In the second to last chain from the hook, work 2 half double crochets HDC. Yarn over and crochet the first HDC. Yarn over again. Insert the hook into the stitch. Yarn over. Pull through 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through all 3 loops to complete the HDC. Now, crochet another HDC in the same stitch. Yarn over. Continue next HDC. Yarn over. Continue, insert the next stitch. This is the second HDC. In the next stitch, work for HDC. 1 stitch work for HDC. This is the first. Second. Third. And fourth HDC. After that, crochet 2 HDC in the next. And slip stitch into the first stitch. Chain 1. Leaving a tail about the length of 2 crochet stitches for sewing. One claw is done. Trim the back thread. Proceed to make 2 claws for the hands.